Hi class, this is Professor Rosner, and you will be joining me this summer with HIS 151. What I'm showing you here is how to manipulate and get around our Blackboard course. So log into My LaSalle, pull up Blackboard, and then find our course section, HIS 151. The first screen you're going to see is this course information page, which has a folder with information about our course, just generic information. It has our syllabus there. It also has two other things about our textbook, and it also has a required equipment for the class. So what you can do when you're here, and I'm turning off what it looks like on my end, and now it should be what you guys see. You can open the syllabus, download it. It's opening up on my computer right now. And the required textbook is the printed right there for you. The first edition, not first edition, but the first volume is what's required. And then you're going to need a microphone headset. All of that's outlined in the syllabus that you should have read by now since I've emailed it to you. Now I'm showing you in the course content information the groups for our weekly assignments, and this is going to open in about 1 second. And when you open this, you'll see you have been assigned to either Group 1 or Group 2. And we're in groups because it's going to be easier to manage the information this way. And each week you're going to switch off on assignments. So for the first week, Group 1 is going to do one of the assignments, and then Group 2 is going to do the other. You're not going to complete these as a team, but you're going to complete them individually so that you can do your own work. This is the syllabus. This is what it looks like. You can see a little picture of me and a little bio. Then course overview. The course runs from May 31st to June 22nd. The textbook and the required equipment are listed there. This about the third or fourth page in is probably the most important information you're going to need in your syllabus. This lists what we are doing every single week for the entire course. And you might want to just print this out and put it in your study, your library, your notebook, wherever you guys are going to reference the material all the time, because that's going to tell you what you need to do for the whole course. And you can plan your work schedule, your vacation schedule all around that if you need to. I'm also showing you here, this is the discussion board. The only way to access the discussion board is from the left side of the screen, so please make sure you're aware of that. The first thing here is the Get to Know You discussion, which so many of you guys have already been in this weekend. It was lovely to meet all of you. And if you've never taken an online course, this is just showing you how to click on a thread, which is the little question that I posted. Tell us a little about yourself, an accomplishment you've made, something you're proud of. And when you want to reply to somebody, you click on their name, or not their name, but their title of their posting, and then you hit reply. And once you hit reply, you're going to see a little yellow box pop up. Let me show you that 1 second. Yellow. Yep, it's going to turn yellow when you put your cursor in it to type. I'm just typing some gibberish here. But you will type a nice, meaningful response to this person. If you prefer, you can type your information in Word and then attach that file if you're afraid of things timing out on you. And then you would hit submit. I hit cancel because I didn't want to submit my gibberish. The next thing I'm going to show you here is the announcements page. And the announcements are helpful. I send them out every so often during the course, but other things just generate announcements on their own. Like when I type a quiz for you, you'll see a little announcement come up about it. So check the announcements tab when you click into the class. What's coming up here is what Blackboard email looks like. You can email me through Blackboard email, and it's only through the course. And it's the only time I'm going to see it is if I check into the class, which I do often every day. The other option you have is to go to the LaSalle email, and you can click in there and type away. Right now, this is the web link section, and every week there are going to be anywhere from like 3 to 8, maybe 9 web links that I put up there for you. Some are YouTube videos, which you see here I'm pointing to. Some are going to be podcasts, some are going to be maps, charts, websites, literally anything that's out there on the web that I think is going to be helpful for you to further your understanding of the course material. Sometimes, like this podcast here, it'll say up top, that little red bar says you are outside of Blackboard, which is okay. You just hit play on that and it's going to start playing for you. Listen to the podcast. It's very helpful in understanding the first assignment that you have for the course. What I'm showing you here is this is your control panel. This might just be on my end of things that I see this, but you have your little control panel up top, and that is letting you show you your grades, your course material. This is what your first week is going to look like. So when you come in, you're going to click on course content, and then you're going to open up week 1. Week 1 starts with a weekly planner. Every week is set up exactly the same. You'll have a weekly planner, which I suggest printing out. It'll give you an overview or an introduction of what we're going to do, some objectives, and then activities. And these activities are the things that need to be completed within the first week of our meeting. And all the due dates and times are listed right there for you on that. So please pay attention to that as you're going through your week. The second thing that's going to be in your course content for that first week is a PowerPoint. Every single week that we have class, you'll have a PowerPoint, which is very helpful because it's not everything that's in your textbook. These PowerPoints were put together from different sources, so please don't think that they are just reiterating what is already in your textbook, because a lot of times they're expanding on different topics, and they're also introducing you to new things that aren't in your textbook. So the PowerPoint is important to look at. It'll help just give you a deeper knowledge of what we're studying that week. And here's what the PowerPoint's going to look like. And I'm just going to put it into slideshow mode for you to show you how it works. It works just like any other PowerPoint. I'm clicking through it right now. And you can take notes on this. You can save this to your desktop if you like. You can print it out. I ask that you are familiar with it and that you have read over it and you have interacted with it. The third thing here is your week 1 assignments. These are the things that are getting graded for the class. So for you, if you are in the group that is doing the discussion board or the primary source paper, you want to make sure you understand how this submission tool works. So I've just clicked on the primary source paper requirements, which was an attachment that I put onto the paper. This is just what it tells you to do, how to write the paper, just like it does in the syllabus. The second thing I'm going to click on here is the actual primary source that you'll be reading this week, which is the Code of Hammurabi. And it's not terribly long. I think it's maybe 3 pages long, about 3.5. And it is a set of law codes created by this ruler Hammurabi in the 18th century BCE. And it's pretty impressive when you read it. But the most important part of this is this part. You have to click on the title, Primary Source Paper, and this brings you to the submission tool. And you can type your paper into this section right where I'm highlighting, just like a text box. Or if you prefer, this is what most students did or have been doing, is in this section called Attach a File. You can browse your computer, save your work as a Word document, attach it, and then hit Submit. If you'd like to leave me any comments in that comment box, feel free to do so. Sometimes students do, sometimes they don't. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. The next thing I'm showing you here is your study guide. The quizzes that you have for the course are only 10 questions long, but I try to give you a little heads up as to what is going to happen on the quiz. I give you some page numbers here to reference. These questions are guiding you to what your quiz is going to be like. So I would suggest doing the study guide before taking the quiz. And I'm just going to give you a little preview of what the quiz looks like. The most important thing is to know is that if you start this quiz, you have to finish it. You get 1 hour from the minute you open this begin button, and you have to finish it. It is set up for one time only. I'll let you see all the questions at once like you see here, but you need to understand that as soon as you start taking this, there are no do-overs. You have to finish it. So please make sure when you hit go or begin, you are committed, you have a time set aside to take it, and that you're going to be able to complete it within that hour. Feel free to have your textbook out, your study guide, your notes, whatever you need to have out to be successful on this quiz. I am totally aware that that's how people do these quizzes. It's just really a check on yourself to see how much you've learned, and also gives me a gauge as to how well you're dealing with the material and interacting with it. The quizzes do count. They are a certain percentage of your final average, so please take it seriously. What I'm showing you now is just again what your course content page looks like. You have all of your information there, and I hope that we get off to a really good start this summer semester, and I'll see you.
And when I wake tomorrow, I'll bet you and I will